James with his hand out and then a honking noise.
Feels like a long time since I've been sat here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been quite a while.
It's been quite a while. Where have you been, Unger?
Oh, I haven't really. I've been here.
Yes.
But you guys haven't been
No.
when I've been here.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So, well, yeah, there you go.
The episode without me was really good.
Do you know what? It had really loads of downloads as well.
So not only was it better...
Come back, Lawrence!
Yeah, come back, Lawrence. I just feel like a seat warmer now. But it's true.
That's what he said.
He's a wonderful film reviewer. He really knows what he's talking about.
He does. And he did a little mind map for us.
Yeah.
Explaining about how he thought the film went. What have we got? Nothing.
No, yeah.
We've got 63 weeks worth of experience. That's what we've got.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what we got.
Yeah.
Does Peter know his lyrics,
Who do what?
your script?
Yes.
How do we start the podcast?
Yeah, it gives you intro.
Oh, yeah, but we always do this like bullshit intro bit to
I
start
know.
with, and then
that
we get
was me
into it.
stuffing it.
Okay, okay. Well done, producer. I've forgotten about that. So why are we here, James?
Do you want to prepare us in?
I totally forgot about that bit.
That's what I was trying to say to you.
I forgot how it actually started. I blame the producer. I need a script.
That's what I was trying to say to
Today
you.
was never going to be smooth, was
This
it?
is
Let's face
Peter Absent Unger and Nikki Thatcher Smart and James, the heroic hero, Mulcrone, to ensure that you... That's
Where's
good,
your
isn't it?
cape?
To ensure, not all heroes wear capes. To ensure that you are ready and prepared for the up-and-coming films of 2025, we are here to guide you through that, holding your sweaty little mitts.
Some of them wear button-through knitwear.
They do, with a shell collar.
Yeah.
They do indeed.
We are both in monochrome again, though.
Oh, I'm liking it. It's like a little uniform.
I know,
And
but-
look at Nikki. Look what Nikki's wearing. She's wearing a
It's
T-Rex
like the
T-shirt.
it's like the
And it's T as in TEA and it's holding a cup of tea.
Up a
It's
dog.
my T-Rex.
How cute is that?
There you go.
We should all wear those next week.
Definitely. Anyway, so we are a trio of cinema lovers, ensuring that you are fully invested in the world of the
I
cinema
just remembered
delights.
the next bit. It's me
Yeah,
again.
exactly. Yeah.
Well done.
Peter and I like to review the films at the cinema at the moment. We give you a rundown of the top 10 in the UK charts. We review a couple of movies, and then I give Peter some homework to watch while the week is going ahead. He comes back the week later and gives us his review, and we go from there. Is that about right?
Yeah, perfect.
Is that about right?
That's beautiful.
That's about right.
Let's just do that.
Let's do that. Right.
Number 10, Craven the Hunter. You've been to see that?
No, I have not.
Oh, is this another one that you booked and just didn't turn up?
That's right.
Odeon must love you. They've put their prices up, haven't they?
Only by £1. It's fine. I mean, if you go to the cinema twice in 1 month, you're still making your money back. Don't you
Oh,
worry
I don't
about
mean that, but
Yeah.
if you buy a packet of popcorn, that's also gone up by £1.
Yes.
And that's a much larger percentage than the $17.99
Oh,
that
with
we
that,
pay for our monthly
that's why I
subscription.
walk in with my water.
Yeah, I know, I don't normally, but I just fancied some popcorn because I knew that our film was quite a long one.
So Craven the Hunter has been really, really panned by the critics. I'm not going to make any comment on it until I've seen it. I'll probably wait till it comes out of streaming, but...
Well, it's nice to see that John Craven's done something since...
Since the news round. You're showing your age now. We've alienated quite half of our listeners. They go, what?
Do you think our listeners are so young they don't know who John Craven is? I think I've hit target audience. Number 9, Baby John.
Yes.
I don't know anything about this.
Isn't that the Nicole Kidman movie?
Oh,
No.
yeah. It's not?
No, it's got a baby girl, isn't it?
I don't know. Well, maybe we need a producer to tell us about this
So
one.
Baby John it was actually released on Christmas Day in 2024. It's an Indian Hindi language action thriller.
Yeah, the Nicole
film.
Kidman movie.
And it's about a man who fakes his death
Yeah.
to protect his daughter from a dangerous politician.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. Does he go in a canoe as well afterwards?
You have to
Remember
wait
him?
and see.
The fellow who
Are
faked
you
his
on
own
about
death.
Life of Pi?
Oh, yeah.
And he was in a canoe or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
The man, the
Number
canoe,
8.
the whatever.
Conclave.
Yes.
Now, I've just had a discussion about Conclave on
Have
my
you?
doorstep.
Have you?
Yeah, I think... Sorry, that's my pet fly.
That's fine. I
What's
just
he
pushed it
called?
back in.
What, my pet fly?
Yeah.
Freddie.
Florence.
Florence, nice, I like it.
Yeah. And yeah, we had a discussion about Conclave, and I...
Did you tell her you're wrong? It's rubbish, and she went okay.
Of course I did.
How long have you known Peter?
No, what I actually said was we disagreed on our review of it.
Absolutely.
And the general public proved me right.
And she went, really?
Yeah, no, she just walked off. Yeah, that's it.
Number 7.
Tusking and tutting. Number 7, Gladiator 2.
Yeah.
Please don't see this film. It's shocking.
It's terrible.
It's absolutely awful. And
In at
number
number
1. Told you, 63 weeks of experience that is that made me know that Paddington in Peru was going to stay at number 1
You still
for
owe me a
exactly
pound.
1
You
week.
still owe me a pound.
I do owe you a pound.
Yes.
I don't have one. We'll get one for you. You'll get it this year, I promise you. Number 5, Better Man.
He says that on January the 4th.
Well, it gives me a bit of time, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
exactly. That gives him
Number 5.
How many days to Christmas?
Better Man. That's the Robbie Williams
306.
one.
Oh, right, okay.
Now-
I've got a review for this.
Have you already?
Yeah.
What have you been? Have you went to
I
see
know,
it?
no, from someone else. I don't want to see this.
Now, however, that's good that you got a review. I'm really excited that you got a review. I tell you what, I will interject when we're giving out review.
What do you mean you're going to interject?
I said, have you got a review? Do you want a review?
Oh, so someone just messaged me a review. They went to see it,
And?
and what? Then that's not doing what you just said you were about to do.
That's all right.
So I'm going to sit on it.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep my powder dry until we're doing extra reviews. Have we got extra reviews this week?
Yeah, let's do it.
No, that can
Just
be
from
our
your
review
friends.
for this week.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay, we'll just do that. Number 4, Moana 2. Oh, this is where the numbers are going to be with wrong numbers. I don't
Exactly.
like
Yes.
that. Have you seen it?
No.
Okay, this is one of those bad top 10s that we haven't really seen enough.
However, we have seen Wicked.
Oh, it was wicked.
Yes, number 3.
Oh, actually, and my friend's, my goddaughter
Yeah.
works on it, and I saw her this week.
And?
It was really nice to say to her,
Well
congratulations on your film, it was absolutely amazing.
Oh, good.
Actually, I didn't. I said, I saw Wicked this week.
Yes.
And she went, oh, what did you think? And I had that wonderful thing to be able to say, it was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
You had one job to do, which was to put our scorecard down there, which you haven't done.
That's right.
And then I went to show her where it placed on our scorecard, but
Yeah.
you didn't update the scorecard
right.
when I wasn't here.
Is that what you said to her?
I
Are you
noticed,
talking to me
I
now?
noticed it, like I'm doing
Oh, I see.
both. I haven't spoken like this for quite a while.
No,
it's
I've
quite,
been
it's
enjoying
quite
it.
confusing, isn't it? You know, I mean, confusing.
It is
even
for you.
myself. Number 2, Mufasa, The Lion King.
Yes.
Now, I might have to admit that the colon thing doesn't necessarily work because I've heard that this is actually quite good.
Well,
Have you seen it?
no, I haven't. You could watch it on the plane.
I'll watch it on the plane. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Oh no, you should. It's supposed to be a secret.
It is a secret.
What, that you're taking a private jet to get some genetic...
Yeah.
what was
Hair-
it?
hair
Genetic...
transplant.
Yeah. We'll talk about that later. Watch a film yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Very interesting.
Change your
I
genes.
was going to pick up my substance.
Yes, it's exactly what it is.
Number 1 this week. It's not Paddington in Peru, sadly. It's
No.
Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
I've heard amazing things about this.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. So my daughter's actually desperate to see it. So
I've actually heard really good things
Yeah.
as
I've heard
well.
amazing things about it. So there you have it. That's your top 10 from 1 to 10. Sonic number 1 and Craven number 10.
So Christmas is history. It just
Pretty
drops
much so.
out, doesn't it?
It just literally
That's
just
it.
falls off the edge of the planet.
Yeah.
And that's the way it should be.
So
the
what
Christmas
we,
tree goes away.
So we can actually say, what are we going to see this this week, or you know?
But I'm definitely going to go and see Better Man.
Yeah.
So I will come back with reports about that as well. Do you want to do your review about that now before we...
Shall I go and grab my phone?
Would you
quickly?
mind?
Yeah, I'll just do that. Can you keep the people entertained?
Absolutely. Well, Peter saunters off to go... Nice.
Saunters. Nice
Off to get to-
saunter.
exactly.
He's not eating nuts this time, though, and just
You hold a grudge for
daydreaming.
Jason.
That's not holding a grudge, it's stating the fact.
He was walking like he was chewing nuts, sir.
It was, yeah.
Absolutely.
Anything
More
else
nuts,
you're
in
going to go
fact.
see in the top 10, James?
Not this week. I think I'm definitely going to go and see Better Man. I'm interested. I think Baby Girl is coming out next week as well.
So, I think that's already out, because
is
according
it?
to this top 10, it's at like number 13.
Oh, really?
So I don't know if that's just because it was out and it hasn't picked up
Have you seen the
momentum.
trailer for it?
No.
Yeah, the trailer for it is it's very intense.
Yeah?
So I mean, yeah, I'm sort of in two minds of whether how I'm going to feel about this movie to start with.
Okay.
Peter, what do you have for us?
Righty ho. Okay, so this is from my friend Talia Kirby, who I play golf with on a Monday.
What's the name again?
Talia Kirby.
Talia Kirby.
And she is a professional golfer.
Right.
And she went to see Better Man.
And
then she posted it on Instagram. And she gave it a 10 out of 10 on her Instagram page. And then I put 10 out of 10 question mark.
Yes.
Seriously, question mark.
But this is you already saying that she's made the wrong decision with that.
No, as in like I was surprised. It was
Yeah.
a 10 out. I am allowed to be shocked that someone gives something a 10 out of 10.
Of course you are.
It's a naive score. However,
And she's now listening.
the review that she gave to back up her 10 out of 10 made me totally understand
Go
what
for
it
it.
was. I really liked it.
There you go.
That's
Amazing.
it.
That's all you need to know.
That's
That's all you need to know.
So it just goes to prove that that reviews are subjective, and I still don't understand that.
Now,
So-
just to
so there we go.
continue with the confusion about this, I'm usually a fairly good judge of trailers, and I always like to show off the fact that I'm usually a fairly good judge with trailers. And I look at that trailer, it's gonna be pants. I look at that trailer, it's gonna be good.
I've got a thought to bring back to you
that's
later
fine,
on.
exactly. However, the first instance of watching the trailer for Better Man, I instantly thought, it's just going to be absolute pants. You know, you could just... Even the acting of... You know, I know monkeys can't usually act, but this one particularly looked like he was going to be a bad actor.
Yeah.
So...
Where do they find them?
Rotten... I know, it's monkey training school. Anyway, so...
They're all Andy Serkis, aren't all right.
The Rotten Tomato score. Do you know what the Rotten Tomato score for this
that's
is?
not you making your own decision about
but
a trailer, is it?
It's relevant. What Rotten Tomato?
It's an elephant. I thought it was a monkey.
Relevant. Rotten Tomato score.
Oh, I reckon it's a 7.
Rotten Tomato 94%.
Shut your face.
94%. Mark Mono.
Yeah.
Yeah, him. Our other reviewer out there in the world. He's given it a thumbs up as well. He said it's actually weirdly brilliant.
So this film is going to massively depend on whether you like him or not, isn't it? Robbie Williams.
That's a good point, actually. But one of the comments I have heard is that fact that initially the monkey aspect of it is very confusing, and they're going, "I don't get it."
Is it?
Yeah, I don't get it. I did, and then apparently after 5 or 10 minutes, you actually forget that he's a monkey, and you just go with it.
So I saw an interview with him where he was talking about why they chose to do a monkey.
Yes.
And it's basically because there's been so many biopics that they wanted to do something different.
Yes, exactly.
But that's it. That's the only relevance of there being a chimpanzee.
I kind of get it because there's a song out there called Dance Monkey.
Yes.
Okay, carry on.
And obviously it was about her. She was a busker at the time, and people were like, "Sing for me, sing this song," and she felt like a performing monkey.
Oh.
So yeah, I kind of get the whole.
I get
Get the reference, yeah. But we shall see.
Didn't you say that Mark Commode saw it twice and changed his
No.
thoughts on it? I'm sure there was someone who watched it, didn't understand it, and then when they watched it again was like, actually, I do understand it.
Yep.
So who's this Mark Kimono guy?
Some reviewer guy that's been around for a bit, reviewing films. We don't want to talk about it.
He's trying to be a pundit.
Yeah.
So what did you think when you saw the trailer? What was your actual thought? Your thought?
My initial
Mark
thought
Kimono.
was that it felt like a TV movie, and I felt that it was really just wasn't very well put together, and I just thought the acting looked awful via the trailer.
And are you still thinking that, or are you thinking now that it's different because you've seen that Rotten Tomatoes score?
No, I'm thinking that I have to reevaluate how I judge things just purely by trailers, and then I need to go and see it.
Okay, I'm with you. I thought you were still putting your flag in the sand as being an amazing trailer reader.
I'd like to think I still am, but maybe I have a bit of a glitch every so often.
Okay, so this is to talk about the film that we actually both saw this week and we're about to review.
Right.
Because I think that the trailer for this...
Yes.
I don't want to discuss this now, I want to discuss this later, but that's a really, really interesting
I like
point.
the way you've done that. You went full circle.
I know.
Welcome back, Peter.
It's all right, 63 weeks.
It took a while to warm you up for the last 25 minutes, but now you're back on track again.
I hope so.
So that brings us nicely around to the film that we're about to review.
Nosferatu.
Which is Nosferatu.
Now, this has been trailed for months.
It has.
And the main trailer character is Willem Dafoe, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I've been giddy for this for a long time.
You have indeed.
Yeah.
So we went to see this separately, didn't we?
We did.
I went to see this with Tucker TV and my gorgeous wife Sophie.
I went to see it with my wife Pauline.
Nice. Okay.
And a packet of popcorn.
Did you?
For £5.79 even with membership.
Really?
I thought that was cheeky.
Well, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't buy any popcorn for this movie.
That's my review of the popcorn was 3 out of 10.
Really? Okay, right. So let's start.
I'll make it 3.5.
That's
quite yummy.
Let's start from the beginning, okay? Let's just crack on with the story plot to start off with, and then we'll go through director, actors, and then how we felt about it.
Yeah.
So for people who are not aware of the Nosferatu story, and I'm sure you're more than aware of the Nosferatu
100%,
story.
yeah, absolutely.
So what not many people realise that the Nosferatu original film in 1922 was technically a rip-off of the Dracula story, and they had to change a lot of the details within the story, but just kept exactly the same plot all the way through the storyline. So you've got the classic sort of vampire in a castle. You've got you've got the estate agent going over to talk to him about estating, and then you've got him recognizing.
And is this solely due to IP and trademarking?
100%.
So it's just they couldn't
The
use
Brown
the word
Circle
Dracula.
family. The Brown Circle family were adamant that they were not allowed to use any references towards Dracula when they made this movie, to the point where they actually sued the movie when it came out in 1922.
Oh, seriously?
The originals of the movie were burnt, and the only reasons why we see it now is because we actually see reproductions of that said movie. That the 35mm has been destroyed, and so on and so forth. So, now obviously the director of this new movie, Edgar Allan Wright, is it?
Hang on.
He's adamant that it wasn't as serious as it's projected to be, as like, for instance, the copyright issues and so on and so forth. But everybody agrees it was. It was blatantly just a complete and utter rip-off.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Robert Eggers.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So you've got the classic story plot of the vampire in the castle, and you've got. But in this instance, what they're doing, they're really focusing on the female character instigating the vampire awakening from his slumber.
Yeah, absolutely. So our fade from black is Lily Rose Depp. I don't know her character's name actually. I've forgotten, but it's but yeah, it's basically it's a face to camera, isn't it? And
that's right.
And she is. She has psychotic episodes, and this is one of those episodes where she basically calls to Nosferatu.
That's right.
And wakens him from his hundreds of years slumber.
That's right.
And there's been a connection between Nosferatu and this character, which is it's no secret. It's mentioned throughout the movie.
Yep.
And and there's a weird bond between the two of them.
Yes. So she's got past history yearning for any attention, any sort of physical connection.
Haven't we all?
And at a younger age, she calls out to any source out there, any sort of spirit out there to connect with her physically. And obviously that's where she gets the initial connection with Nosferatu, and it gets very physical at one point.
And it's always a benefit when it's a Skarsgård, isn't it?
Oh, apparently so. Even with all the makeup, and then obviously that stopped when she was younger, and then obviously she's married now. They don't have any children, if I recall.
They do not.
They're
newly married.
They're
starting off on the adventure of their young married life together.
Correct. Yeah.
He starts working for an estate agency.
That's right.
And basically to secure his role within the estate agency, he's given a mission.
That's right.
Where he basically has to go and get the signature of this
Count Olok.
Count Olok, who is a very, very bohemian character who lives in the outer wilds of Transylvania.
That's right.
And he's got a 6-week journey to get there, get his signature, get home, and then his career is cemented and they can begin their wonderful life together.
Absolutely. Now, when you first see the trailers of this film, what you've got to be careful of is not to judge or to misidentify the fact that this is a modern movie, but it doesn't have modern scares to it. So that's how I'm looking at it. But because don't forget, we've spent the last 63 weeks delving into modern horror to the point where we watch ultra modern horror, to the point where Substance to me is an ultra modern horror.
Yeah.
Whereas Nosferatu, although it's a modern film, it could easily be made in 1970s in its darkness and in its Hammer House horror.
It's a very classic remake, isn't it? I mean, they haven't tried to change too much. They have changed it a bit.
Yes.
And
we won't talk about the aesthetics because we don't want to give anything away.
No. But there are certain things we need to discuss.
That's
I
right.
think. And but
I mean, Skarsgård's portrayal.
Get that out of the way.
Yeah. Skarsgård's portrayal of Count Olok, or the vampire, is a lot. Is drastically different than you'd expect him to be, I think.
Yeah, and I think this was one of the decisions that they made for the film.
Yes.
Because I went in there without realising that it was Bill Skarsgård as
did you?
Nosferatu. Yeah.
Oh wow!
Because
okay.
I go in. I don't do the research
Yeah.
before we go to film.
Yeah.
I like to go in there and do a bit of reading afterwards. And so we were actually trying to work out
who it was.
Who it was.
Oh, I see.
And I thought he looked like what's his name from Peaky Blinders, the brother from Peaky Blinders.
Oh yes, yeah, I'm with you. I know exactly
He's
what
got
you're
that
talking
same
about.
type of face. It's Albert or something like that.
That's right, Albert. Yes.
Albert, and I thought he looked like him facially, and then Pauline thought he was someone else. And then when I realised it was Bill Skarsgård, I was quite shocked actually. And what I thought was, actually, I really like Bill Skarsgård in Boy Kills World.
Yes.
Because he doesn't say anything.
Yes.
And I visually I thought he was a very good Nosferatu. Aurally or audibly,
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
No.
I didn't like the portrayal. His portrayal
It's
of
funny
Nosferatu.
you say that because sorry to interrupt, but
No,
it's
you
funny.
didn't interrupt.
Exactly.
I'm shocked.
It's funny. It's funny you say that because one of his big selling points for his portrayal of this role, he spent months and months going to audio training.
Did he?
To change the way that he spoke, to manipulate the tone of his voice, that it would be semi-demonic, but it would also have this.
Yeah.
Go on.
Are we talking about our opinion of this film already?
You can start dipping your toe into it a little bit.
I found this quite hammy. So I'm going to jump from Bill Skarsgård and jump straight onto Lily Rose Depp.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
Please do.
And
I'm sure she wouldn't mind.
Because I really, really want to love her as an actress.
Okay.
So when the Icon or whatever came out, I was desperate for that to be good.
Yeah.
And it was horseshit. It was terrible. And I really wanted her to be good in this, and I didn't think she was very good in it. So for the first hour, so I knew this was a long film,
Right.
and like the indication of a film, of whether a film's going good in my mind or not, is when the first time I go, I wonder how long I've been watching this for, and I looked at my watch, and it was an hour,
Right.
out of a 2 hour and 25-hour movie.
Okay.
And I was just like, right, okay, so it's not going as well as I was kind of expecting it to. And I'm going to come back to this now as well, because this is one of the trailers that every time we've seen it, I've literally put my hand on your thigh and gone, oh my God, I cannot wait for this to come out.
Yes.
Now, I think my issue with this film, and don't get me wrong, I don't hate this film at all.
Right.
My issue with it is that I now need to go back and see Bram Stoker's Dracula with Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder in it, because my memory of that film is that it's one of the greatest films I've ever seen, ever, even though it's got Keanu Reeves in it. And I think the portrayal of those characters, in my head, was done better by the old actors than the new actors.
Interesting.
And that's just my opinion.
Yeah,
It's
no,
subjective,
no,
and I'm really scared to hear what you say. Because I can't believe I'm saying, oh my God, Keanu Reeves is so much better than Bill Skarsgård. Well, he's not the same character, but you know what I mean. What's his name? The guy that played the character in this one, the one that was in About a Boy.
Nicholas Hoult.
Yeah. I
And then-
can't stand him.
Right.
I didn't know he was in this.
Right.
As soon as I saw him, I was like, oh, this is going to be troublesome.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
So you judged him by the actor.
I just don't like him.
Okay.
That's fair.
Fascinating. No, and I'd say I think your take on it is valid. Okay.
Thank you, James.
I think it's valid, and I think it's
But-
it's no, and I think it's definitely valid, and I think it's definitely worth a voice. However,
Yeah.
I think the angle that the director and the actors and all of the team involved of this film, it is definitely verging towards the ham rather than the horror.
It is, yeah. I mean, it
Okay.
was really hammy.
However, but it's to me that's balanced off by the darkness of the cinematography, the incredible attention to detail. I mean, the immersiveness of the world that he creates is so beautiful that what for me personally, that it's a slow. All of his movies are slow burners, and all of his movies are less commercially palatable than most normal movies on the planet, I find.
Yeah.
And so you really have to roll your sleeves up and invest yourself into the movie.
I found the vocabulary troublesome.
Yes.
And because it for me, it just felt like it was trying a bit too hard.
Yes.
To put us into that world and basically making not just the vocabulary they use, but the sentence structure was very, very of an age.
Yes.
But for me, it was a little bit too much, and I found sometimes it felt like they were just trying a little bit too hard for me to actually get absorbed into the film. And this was a film that I wanted to literally just dive in and be submerged in.
Yeah.
And I found myself being pulled back to reality because I was just like, that sentence just doesn't even work. And
I can see you coming from the construction of the historical dialect broke the fourth wall ever so often.
it did, yeah, and to an uncomfortable level.
However, I think that and I still stand by my initial statement that I think that was a completely on purpose to add to that whole Hammer House of Horrors sort of world that you've been drawn into. The fact that it was set in Germany rather than England. The fact that they still had all the English accents was very, very important to me as well. I thought the fact that they didn't try to also have German accents within it as well.
Yeah.
I felt that the layering of this movie is going to be a slow burning classic that people are going to adore over time, watching over and over and over.
You think this is an adore movie?
I think I truly believe this will overtake Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Okay, we are going to agree to disagree.
Yeah,
because I think the difference in...
You wait till you see. I mean, I love it a bit. You wait till you see Winona Ryder's performance and Keanu Reeves' performance, and you look at it, and even Anthony Hopkins' performance as Dracula. No, he plays Van Helsing, doesn't he? Anthony Hopkins.
Oh, it's what's his make? It's
Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman's portrayal of Dracula is exceptional.
It's exceptional.
It is absolutely exceptional. Unfortunately, he can't remember any of it. Unfortunately,
is that true?
Yeah, he's
bit too much blood.
Yeah, he's renowned for not remember a thing about this movie in the slightest. In fact, he watches it and goes, "That's a really good movie." So I stand by my original statement. I think his portrayal of Count Olaf, and I think his portrayal of the... Don't forget, what you're watching is a remake of a remake of a remake almost.
Yeah, so there are nods to the original, aren't there, which I thought you'd be bringing up quite a lot, the shadow hands and all that type of stuff, which is really beautifully done. There are certain bits of this which I thought were much better than the original two movies, like the description of Count Olaf being the bringer of plague. That was a new element to this, which I thought was a really great addition to the plot.
Yes.
Carry on.
But I'll let our producer confirm this. I'm pretty convinced that the word Nosferatu is actually blood and disease.
Oh, right, okay.
And so the metaphor of Count Olaf being the plague giver.
Yeah.
Is really it's a beautiful extra layer that Dracula doesn't give you.
The thing that was lacking for me was the I didn't get the terror of his arrival.
Right.
And in the Winona Ryder version of it, I felt that much more.
You see, with great respect, his arrival in Germany was quite low key compared to Nicholas Holt's reaction to him when he went to Transylvania. I think Nicholas Holt's performance in Transylvania blows Keanu Reeves' performance off the water without even thinking about it. The look of terror on his face when the slow realization that he's now in the grasp of this terrifying vampire.
Yeah, so
he's stuck in that castle.
Yeah, because that's really interesting. Because if you take Keanu Reeves' acting performance out of that, the transformation of his mental state and his health while he's in the castle in the original Winona Ryder one, I thought that the plot of that happening was better because they were making him ill. He was drinking his blood, and they were testing his sanity. So you got that scene where you've got the three women who, the sirens who are kind of trying to tempt
they're all
him.
connected physically.
Yeah, that's right. And Nicholas Hoult came in.
Yeah.
He comes in and he does that horrified smell the fart face.
Yeah.
And he does that like 2 or 3 times.
Right.
And I didn't understand why he was so terrified compared to the original. In mine, the original, that was a breaking down of Keanu Reeves to literally forcing him to jump into the river from the castle.
Okay.
With Nicholas Hoult, I don't think enough had happened for him to jump out of that castle.
Oh, I don't know. I see. I have to interject that. I think what it is, it's a wonderful mixture, this film, because you've got the slightly hamminess of the dialect and of some of the actions, but on the other hand, what you don't have is you don't have the terror and the sheer sort of horror handed to you on a plate by this director, whereas the original Bram Stoker's Dracula was a lot more. Here is the depiction of the Wolfman version of Dracula. This is a depiction of him as a giant bat, and all these different factors.
I totally get that.
To really go, this is horror, and this is how you're going to expect horror to be. Whereas this new interpretation of it is, this is not how you normally interpret horror to be, because it is actually closer to the Hammer House horror genre, where it was closer to me, it was closer to a Christopher Lee sort of movie where it was the intention of horror rather than obvious horror, and that's why I'm trying to get across to the fact that this is a classic horror rather than a modern horror. Modern horror is a lot more hit it with a brick and see what happens, whereas classic horror was, these are shadows, and these shadows are going to really scare you, and it's going to be your mindset is going to scare you as well.
I totally get that, but I mean, ultimately, you have to rate a film based on how the actors portray characters and how those characters grab you. Now, as much as I want to love Lily Rose Depp, for me, she does not have the gravitas to fulfill these massive roles, and and she is the heroine of this story. And for me, she just doesn't carry it, and I feel really gutted about that, because I really want to love her as an actress, and I don't.
I'm going to leave you one. We could go with. I'm sure we could go for hours. I'm going to leave you one final thing about Lily Rose's depiction of this character in this movie, is that her physical interaction with the spirits. Yeah. Even when she's doing her solo acting, and her fits and her physical change without any special effects.
Have you got a word in your head?
It's been almost like, I think at one point she was doing a yoga wheel at one point. Yeah. And she was having fits, and she was being sort of. I just felt that it came across so authentic and so well acted.
Oh, I didn't at all.
I
thought it was horrific.
Yeah, I thought
it was awful. So funny, isn't it? So the things that I really detested about a story that I absolutely adore, you feel totally differently about.
But I think that's what 63 weeks does to us.
But that's fine. We're both sat here knowing that it's all right. I would rather, though, in your reviews, like when I don't agree with you, that you don't just turn around and say, "Yeah, basically, Pete, your view's the view of a simpleton, and mine's the view of a really smart person." So I'd rather you didn't do that.
Yeah. Okay.
On that note, should we get some scores?
Yes, please.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Go for it.
It's still a 7.8. It's still a good film. Okay. It's a really good film. It's just, in my mind and my subjective opinion, not as good as the Winona Ryder version.
8.9.
Ooh.
8.9. It is. It's going to be a classic, and I think it's the most accessible of all of his movies. A reference to The Witch and the Northman and all those other films that he's done over the last few years.
So this is a classic horror for all of you smart film watchers.
Do you have any facts for us, Nicky?
That's 8.3.
Right, thank you very much.
So with reference to the word Nosferatu, it's actually a Romanian word which means vampire, and is often associated with the 1922 German expressionist film of the same name.
Okay, so nothing to do with blood or disease.
No, the word is thought to have come from the Romanian Nosferatu, which means the offensive one or the insufferable one.
Oh, okay. I like that fact.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you.
It has already had 25 wins and 104 nominations in the award world.
Yeah. No chainsaw.
No chainsaw, unfortunately.
Why not?
Well, I don't know. Ask them.
Blood,
I think
maybe it's not been one yet. Maybe it has.
I think it'll make it to the 2025 ones.
Which is in August, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bill Skarsgård trained with an opera coach to lower his voice an octave to make the voice of Count Orlok as deep as possible. His voice was the aspect of the part he worked hardest at, spending 6 weeks before shooting not doing much else but to record himself. And on set he said he would keep doing exercises.
He needed to.
It's kind of like Mongolian throat singing.
It's very close to that. It's very, very low and throat singy.
The exteriors of Orlok's castle were filmed in a castle in Romania called a name that I can't pronounce, but it's also known as Corvin Castle. It's located in Transylvania.
Corvin?
Corvin.
All right, so.
And is the largest medieval castle in Europe, and it's the one where Vlad Dracula was briefly imprisoned. And the castle scenes were filmed in Pernstein Castle in the Czech Republic, which is the same location that was used for Werner Herzog's film Nosferatu the Vampire in 1979. William Dafoe did a scene with 2,000 live rats.
Yes.
Why wouldn't you?
And Bill Skarsgård... Oh, sorry.
Can we just have a little chat about William Dafoe?
Yeah.
How did you feel? How do you feel he worked in this film?
What, rather than Anthony Hopkins' version of Van Helsing?
So the reason I'm asking that is that I love him as an actor.
Yes.
But I think his recent roles have changed my opinion of him, and I can't stop thinking about him with a slightly comedic kind of way about him, which I didn't enjoy it as much as I didn't enjoy him in this as much as I thought I was going to.
Interesting.
So what was is it Kinds of Kindness?
Yes.
Yeah. So his kind of balance between evil nutter and comedic character that he's done. You know, he's done a few kind of similar type of roles, and I think that's had a bit of an impact on me. I think maybe he's had too many similar roles in the past that now makes me think he's going to do that again, and he wasn't in this. It's a straight role that.
Let me give you two references in reference to William Dafoe sort of history, obviously. So
Green Goblin.
You got exactly.
Yeah.
Green,
you're going now, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so I thought it was a joke.
No. So Green Goblin is a fine example of that, because you've got that sort of juxtaposition. Okay, no, it's a Marvel movie and so on and so forth, but you've got a juxtaposition between him being sort of psychopathically sort of unstable, and then him being a good dad, and then you get it. However, if you go back another few years and you go back to American Psycho, where he plays the police officer and he's interviewing Patrick Bateman, in that scene he was given 3 scripts to do. Yeah. Okay, and each script was coming from a completely different angle. So at one point he was actually interviewing Patrick Bateman as if he was convinced he was guilty. Another one he was convinced he was innocent, and another one was convinced that he had nothing. You know, he was just banal or whatever. And so during that particular bit of filming, you see 3 different versions of him
spliced together,
and I think that adds up to what you were saying before, where he does have that sort of schizophrenic acting ability.
Seriously schizophrenic.
Even halfway through a sentence, he can change his.
Yeah, but I just found, I guess I was waiting for him to deliver a punchline or something. Yeah. And I just didn't quite invest in him as much as I have done in previous films because it didn't have that. And
yeah, but the problem is, as we pointed out before, there was a lot of ham around in this movie. Now, the king of the ham of this movie was the estate agent.
Yeah, he was.
His depiction of the bug-eating, vampire-loving sort of familiar was absolutely incredible. I thought he really relished in this role, and he really embraced this role completely. I can't remember the name of the actor now.
What's the character called?
He played the familiar of
he was the owner of the estate agency,
that's
which
correct,
is Knock and See.
Yes.
So Knock is Simon McBurney.
Yes.
The character.
I mean, he is a classic actor who really, really embraced it. Beautiful British actor, really embraced that role.
Oh yeah, I mean, he did it incredibly Shakespearean.
Yeah. To the point where it was yet again hammy but dark at the same time. Yeah. Sorry, Nikki, were you interested in your facts?
I'll do 2 more facts for you. Okay, so director Robert Eggers credits SpongeBob SquarePants 1999 for the introduction of the character Nosferatu for a younger generation. A 2002 episode called Graveyard Shift Krusty Love I knew you'd laugh at that, was has SpongeBob and Squidward encounter Nosferatu? After the episode's airing, Nosferatu's popularity and renewed interest flourished.
Wow.
Oh,
Good. Thank you, SpongeBob.
Yes, we should watch that.
Yeah, exactly.
And then one last fact. Bill Skarsgård was originally cast as Thomas Hutter, so Nicholas Holt's.
Yeah.
However, during the film's long pre-production development, director Robert Eggers decided to recast him as Count Orlok instead, and in an interview with Skarsgård, Eggers stated that he felt that the recasting would make the sexual subtext between Orlok and some of his victims even more convincing.
There you go.
You went a bit Yoda then.
I did indeed. Thank you very much, Nikki, for those facts.
Thanks, Nikki.
Thank you very much. So there you have it. That's our review of Nosferatu. We went in quite deep with this one, I think, which was a testament to a fantastic film.
Yeah, I mean, it is a really great film. It invoked a lot of questions and a lot of comment,
and that's what good films make. So if you have seen this film and you are agreeing with us or disagreeing with us, let us know via how can people let us know.
Go on, Peter.
Oh, okay. You can leave a comment underneath our YouTube video.
That's right.
We have a Facebook page where you can write to us.
Mm-hmm.
You can get to us on Instagram. We have the TikTok.
We do. We have the TikTok.
You can WhatsApp us.
Yeah, we're not on Threads yet, are we?
No, we haven't done any Threads
No.
yet. No. You can WhatsApp us privately or send us a voice note, and then we'll use your reviews on the next week's episode.
Absolutely, yes. So send us your reviews. Let us know what you thought of Nosferatu this week as well. Is that it?
Yes. Are you setting Peter some homework?
I am, and then we're also going to be talking about what films are going to be seen this week as well.
Well, I've actually got, if you would like,
Yes.
according to IMDb, it's the most anticipated movies of 2025.
Oh.
It's a top 10. I'm just going to run through them and see what you boys thought.
Yeah, beautiful. They actually had this as a trailer pre-Nosferatu.
Did they? Let's go for it.
Okay, so due out in May the 23rd.
Right.
In at number 10 is Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
I am looking forward to that.
See, I'm not a big fan of the Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Yeah.
But Hannah Waddingham is in this, so I might watch it just for her.
Yeah.
Okay.
A Minecraft movie, which is out in April.
Oh, it's got Jack Black in it.
Yeah, do you know what? I've heard some
does.
amazing
Have
things
you?
about it. Yeah, I have. Weirdly.
I just don't think I know enough about.
I know nothing about the game.
Yeah.
My son Jeremy loved the game when he was younger. And he said apparently it's still a classic game. Apparently everybody still plays it, apart from you and I.
In July, Jurassic Park Rebirth is coming out.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yes. So I think this is going to be Scarlett Johansson, and they're sort of reinventing the very first movie all over again.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't they?
What, like a remake?
Scarlett
I don't know.
Johansson and Jonathan Bailey.
Oh, I hope
So
it's
it
not.
says, 5 years post Jurassic World Dominion.
Yeah.
An expedition braves isolated equatorial regions to extract DNA from 3 massive prehistoric creatures for a groundbreaking medical breakthrough.
Of course you do. Yes.
That sounds a bit.
Yes.
Sort of
Scarlett Johansson,
King
no?
Kong, doesn't it?
Yeah.
21st.
Yeah, I was hoping Nick was going to say Dominatrix.
No, I knew you would. You can say Dominatrix if you want me to. It'll cost you a lot though. In at number 7 is Snow White. So this is the live action adaptation of the 1937 Disney animated one.
Saw a little snippet in this thing. It looks really good.
Does it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't see it. I didn't see the trailer for it. I got it just in time for not seeing the trailers.
Number 6, Captain America: Brave New World. This
Yeah.
is Liv Tyler and Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford as Red Hulk.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very. Yes. I mean, I think Marvel are very messy at the moment, so we'll have to almost give them a free pass.
Don't be judgy, James. this could be really good.
It could be.
So Snow White's March 21st.
Yeah.
Captain America's Valentine's Day, 14th of Feb.
Of course.
That's Valentine's Day sorted.
On May the 2nd, Thunderbolts.
That's another Marvel. I think that's your anti-hero
That's
of.
Florence Pugh.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So a group of supervillains are recruited to go on a mission for the government.
Oh, there's a very funny bit in the
And
trailer.
Lily Allen's ex-boyfriend's in it.
Oh yeah.
Which one?
The
Big guy.
the big guy, and
Yeah.
they're getting shot at in a car,
Right.
and he goes to Florence Pugh. He goes, "Oh, don't worry, the car's bulletproof." and then bullets fly through the glass. And
Yeah.
she said, I thought you said this thing was bulletproof. And he goes, it's bulletproof-ish. So I thought it was quite cool.
Okay.
Number 4, How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, that looks amazing.
It follows a young Viking as he inspires to hunt dragons.
The live
and
action.
How he
Really?
unexpectedly becomes a friend of a young dragon. Yeah, it's a live action.
So we watched, we watched the animation over Christmas again, and that really holds up. Amazing work. It's a brilliant film.
I don't think I've ever seen
It's
animation.
got Mr. Butler in it, so I'm happy. Gerard Butler. That's out on the 13th of June.
Okay.
Number 3, The Fantastic Four.
Yes. Now
So
this
is
does look interesting.
Pedro Pascal.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're remaking it, but they're doing it in a 1960s retro style.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're going to love it, I'm going to hate it, and you're going to tell me I'm stupid again.
It's going to
Pretty
be.
much.
It looks. It does look like it's going to be quite interesting, and the lead actor from Quiet Place, Day One, and also the actor from Stranger Things. He plays Torch in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that is out on the 25th of July.
Yes.
Number 2, out on June the 20th, starring Ray Fiennes, Cillian Murphy, and Aaron Taylor Johnson.
28 years later.
Oh, man alive. It's a really, really haunting trailer, isn't it?
Now, the reason why the trailer's haunting, do you know why the reason why the trailer's more haunting than it should be?
No.
Is the audio in it.
Yes, yeah.
And have we discussed the audio before?
No, you're about to tell me.
So the audio is a classic audio recording, and it's a poem. Okay, 1, 2, exactly. And it uses random numbers in between, and then it just uses random little sentences that don't make no sense at all.
Oh, because it sounds like a weather report on the radio.
It does. However, it was this recording was used to break Marines.
Sanity.
Yes,
Okay.
because what you do when you listen to this recording, you try to make sense of it.
Right, got you.
And because you're trying to make sense of it, you become really sort of invested into your head, and it becomes more and more intense as the poem goes on.
Because as it was going on, I got to a
Your
point
hair
where
just-
and I was just like, well, this is quite annoying.
Exactly. And apparently, it is the way that they break so many Marines with this poem.
Wow.
There you go.
How do you like to break a Marine, James?
from behind. Anyway, and I've got to say thank you very much for Richard Tucker from Tucker TV for giving me that fact.
Thanks, Tucker TV.
So we get a
that's
thumbs
out
up?
on the 20th of June.
Right.
That's really talked about.
Yep.
And in at number 1,
What's number 1?
it stars Peter's favourite, Nicholas Hoult.
Yes.
And David, is it Corensvet?
Right.
It is Superman.
Of course, yeah, he's playing Lex Luthor, isn't he?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
July the 11th. This is
Now, I have to say, there's been lots of images being thrown around on the internet, and lots of people dispersing his costume, and lots of people talking about some of the photographs on set. And there's been lots of photographs on set. But have you seen the trailer?
I have in my head a few little snippets. I can't remember if it was the trailer or whether it was just some little
With the
visuals
dog?
that I've seen. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say, when I first saw the trailer, I thought to myself, and then when the trailer very first started, I went, oh god, here we go. And then by the end of the trailer, I went, actually, this could be really, really. James Gunn has pulled this out of the bag. This could be spectacular, and I think that's down to a combination of that. I think hopefully he's mixed the classic comic book narrative and the aesthetics along with 1970s audio to give that sort of retro. Between 1950s and 1970s sort of nostalgic sort of vibe to it. That's how I'm seeing it.
Okay, I don't think Deadpool's made any greater by them sticking a dog in it, and I don't think Superman's going to be any better either.
Oh, I don't know. We shall see.
They changed the name of Lex Luthor's company as well.
Did they?
Yeah.
What do they call it?
Oh, you have to wait and see.
You have to wait until July or whatever I just said.
So that just leaves us to give Peter his homework of the week.
Yeah.
And then we'll be talking about. Then we'll be saying goodbye.
You can tell we haven't seen each other for a while.
I know exactly. We're slightly disjointed.
No, I don't mean that. I mean, I think we're on like an hour and 20 minutes already, aren't we?
Are we?
No, we're still under the hour, Joe.
Still under the hour. Still under the hour. It feels like 3 hours.
Just. Ooh.
Peter, your homework.
Yes, James.
For this week is a modern horror.
Cool.
And it's part of a franchise of films within a certain world of, I would say, it's almost got like a Ghostbusters sort of vibe. This franchise, And part of the franchise is a terrifying nun that keeps appearing along the front, in this franchise.
That's why your hands were
Exactly,
in the breast hole.
exactly.
Okay.
And this film highlights the entrance of the nun. And this film is called The Nun.
Which entrance of the nun?
You'll see.
Okay, awesome.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that the 2018?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it is available on YouTube, Apple TV, Amazon Prime Video, and Now TV if you have a subscription.
Perfect. Good.
Fantabulous.
Right. Is that it?
Yeah, that is it. So what we're going to try and watch next week?
Oh, I'm going to go and watch Better Man,
Okay.
the new Robbie Williams movie.
I'll do my best to watch that.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Perfect.
Would you like to prepare us out?
Oh, do we do that?
Did we do that?
I was just going to say how can people get in touch, but we kind of said it earlier.
We did.
Listen back to how you can get in touch and then get in touch with us.
Exactly.
And remember,
Thank you very
if
much.
you're sending us a text under the description to put your name because it doesn't tell us who you are.
Thank you very much. We need your reviews.
Yes, please.
I'm ready when you are.
You
We're
go for
ready
it.
for you.
Popcorn Pundits.
Episode
63.
63. Thank you very much for listening. Adios. Bye.
See you. Goodbye.
Bye.